This day started. Woo! Great morning, Roxy and Aubrey here.
Hello.
Fired up today for Triple M. Keep throwing in your client threads, your coach threads, your social media that you're on Monday Morning Motivation. Today we've got a video by a network marketing professional. So we alternate some is inspiration, some is business knowledge, because it's all necessary for a better life. So whether you're a Herbalife distributor or not, I know most of them are. But most of you guys on live and watching are, but if you're just a client, this is also great knowledge for your everyday life and your skills of building your life. So this gentleman is going to be talking about really how he set his sights on goals and went after them with a strategy. Like, who doesn't need help with that? So get your notebooks out. We're going to be listening live, and then we're going to get some live takeaways. So without further ado, let's get into Triple M with Eric Worre's guest host. Let's get it.
Do the work. Whatever the work is, you got to put the work in. Put the work in. This is network marketing. It's not net sit marketing. It's not net play marketing. It's not net think about it marketing. It's not net one day I'll get to it marketing. It's net work marketing. And most people miss the W, the work part. Network marketing. I worked my butt off. I can tell you right now. Now, remember, it's not just work. You've got to be productive, not just active. You got to be productive. I'll tell you why I make what I make today. I'm gonna write this down. This is my schedule when I first started. Okay, my first day. It was because of what I did day one, not because of what I've done over the last 2 years. I set the example. See, everybody want to take notes now. You see, I've already said the most. You didn't write notes when I said they won't outfriend me. That's more important than what I'm going to put on the board right now. But see, anything that's skill related, we want to take notes. Anything that's really inspiration related, that really matters, we don't. Don't worry, my group's the same way. It's not just you. First day, this is what I did, ladies and gentlemen. Work. Why? I knew. Remember, I told you I got to believe much bigger, much faster. I only set 2 income goals or 3 income goals. Set 3 income goals since I started. My first goal was my first week. My first week's goal was to make $70,000 my first week. Yes, $70,000 was my first week's income goal. I missed it, didn't make it. Make $25,830. But it didn't matter. That was my goal. My second goal, 18-month goal, $250,000 a month. Missed that one too. Hit $249,000. Why? Your business should be predictable. This is a business. I know my business. You got to know your company and your business. I know my business, and it's just as predictable as Exxon knows how much sales of oil they're going to do in the year 2015, and it hasn't come yet. But if you ask any of the executives, they can tell you with a small margin of error what the results are going to be, because there are certain things that cause a certain effect in the business. You've got to figure that out for your company, but it is predictable. You can't be out there, well, I'm just going to throw enough mud on the wall until it sticks. It doesn't work that way. Eric talked about the 90-day game plan. It's predictable. What are you going to get done in 90 days? This is what I did. Day one, I called that group of 32 people. This is what I told them. It was actually 32 people I've sponsored. I had 16 of them on the call. This is what I told them. I said, listen, my current company, I'm launching tomorrow. If those of you who want to know what I'm doing, be on my conference call tomorrow. They were on my conference call at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., I had 16 people on the call. I explained to them, I said, listen, now, and so what happened is this here. I said, guys, listen, you guys are, right now, we're going to do my first, what I call First Movers Advantage conference call. I'm sideways. This way. This better? Okay, here we go. I said I'm going to do my first Movers Advantage conference call. It's going to start at 12 o'clock. Here I am at 10 a.m. This is what I did. You don't have to copy this. This is what I did. Okay, don't write this stuff down. This don't matter. Whatever your method of exposures are, that's what you do. Get with your upline. Get the mentality that I had. Not this, the mentality. So 12 o'clock comes. This is what I did here. I said, guys, listen, out of these 16 people, I said, I suggest you have 10 people on the conference call. They said, well, okay, 12 o'clock when? Next Tuesday? I said, no. Today. Today? 10 people? We only have an hour and a half. I say, exactly. You guys are already in. I got to start making phone calls. Goodbye. How many of you have talked to your prospects about doing a meeting or a call? Well, I've got to give them 36 hours to get the baby. You're not going to win big. Not if you want to launch something. Remember, professionals launch a business, amateurs join a business. I don't join anything. I am a launcher. I launch. Okay? When you look at Microsoft, did they launch Xbox or did they just announce it? They launched it. Sony, they launched this new PS4, whatever it is, however many millions pre-ordered and sold. They launched it. I'm a businessman. You are a business person. You should launch it. This is what happened. 125 people showed up on that conference call. On that conference, don't clap, don't clap. It's not the number, it's the attitude, it's the mentality. My group before, they saw me give people 24, 36 hours to prepare for a stupid conference call. You're sitting at home. You don't need 3 days. If you found a pot of gold and you needed a few friends to come help you get it and they told you can get all that you want, are you going to say, well, I can't call Leroy because he needs 3 days? Leroy, listen, I found a pot of, you better get, Leroy's like, where is it? I'm putting on my pajamas right now. I'm coming out the door. If you make it important enough. Some of you don't make it important enough. My next call was at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, guess what? We had 225 people on the conference call because I told them the exact same thing. I painted the dream. I couldn't even explain the comp plan at all. Didn't know all the details. But when I told those 225 people, I said, listen, you guys are the second people to hear about it. I'm working on something called Project 5,000. 90 days, I want to put 5,000 people in this organization. And nobody has signed up yet. And none of you on this call can sign up either. But we're going to do another conference call. They say when? It's going to be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, I did another conference call. Guess what we had? 435 people on that conference call. That's a lot of activity, isn't it? That was half my day. 6 o'clock. No more conference calls. Did my first home meeting at my house. I'll never forget, I had on a white t-shirt, shorts, flip-flops. Didn't even have time to get dressed. I lost 18 pounds. I thought it was because of our product. That's the testimony I was given. It was really because I forgot to eat while I was launching. I was so fired up and excited. That's what was happening. 6 o'clock came. This is what I had. I had 25 people show up at my house and say, come on in. Told them about Project 5,000. And I'm sitting there spitting in all this stuff and telling them all about the stuff. Whiteboard, no PowerPoint. Didn't have PowerPoints for 6 months. No PowerPoints. I drew on a board, told them what my vision was, what we were about to accomplish, and that we're about to do the biggest project we've ever done in our lifetime. And if you want to get started, you can. That's what happened. At 7:45, you know what was happening at 7:45? 7:30, my doorbell was ringing with the second group of people that were invited. 35 people showed up at my house. And you know what I told those people here? I said, listen, the first 25, I said, guys, I got to wrap this up. We got another group of people that's coming over here. If you want to get in, you can. But go ahead over here to the dining room. My wife has the applications over there, blah, blah, blah. You can get signed up over there. But I've got another group of people that's coming in, and I can't be late with them. By the way, those of you who go ahead and sign up now, this group that's behind you, they possibly could be in your organization if you go ahead and get in right now, all right? So this is 7:30. Guess what happened at 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen? 9 o'clock, guess what I had? I had another 40 people show up at my house. And I was running shift work, okay? 10 o'clock, guess what? I did my last meeting for the day, and I think at 10 o'clock I had about 50 people show up at my house. And I'm doing the same thing. I lost my voice. I did that for the first day. You know what my leaders were doing? They're looking at me like, this dude is crazy. I've never seen him like this before. You know why they never seen me like that before? Because I had never done all that I could do. I had never gone all out. I had never sold completely out. It ain't because of what my product is. It ain't because of my comp plan. It's because of what I did day one. I kept this up for 2 weeks straight. This is not including the one-on-ones that I did. This is not including the 3-way calls. This was my schedule every day, group calls, 4 a day, 4 home meetings a day that I was doing every single day. And what I did is I showed them an example, and they went out and they started doing the exact same thing. That's why my results were where they were. My first day, if you count it up, I exposed almost 700 people. I did more in my first 24 hours than some people do all year. It's not because I do magic. It's because of what the math is. It's simple. You can do the same thing. It's not, okay, I got rich quick. I compress time frames. Compress time frames. This is the work. You do the action, and ladies and gentlemen, when you put the action in, whatever your action is, you find out what your mentor, your coach tells you you need to do, and that's what you need to do. You put the work in, and don't give any excuses why you can't do it. Excuses don't work. Now, I know I may be a little too intense. I get excited when I talk about my dream. I get excited and passionate when I talk about what works and what's going on. That's just who I am. I don't apologize for it. But I don't want you to think some of you that I'm yelling at you, because I don't know many of you in here. I don't want you to think he's yelling at me. Eric brought this crazy wild man on stage, and he was spitting and yelling, and he looked at me and he was pointing at me. And no, I'm yelling in love. I love you. I want you to just do this thing, okay? That's what I want you to do, all right? And I promise you, your group, they will catch on. When you do the action, they will follow what you do. They won't listen to what you say.
All right, my man came with some my passion, man. My man was fired up. All right, Rox, what you got? Hit us with some nuggets.
Whew. All right, so, man, this was awesome, dude. I really love how he talked about how you can make your business predictable if you just do the work. Like, literally, like, you can predict your business depending upon your numbers, your percentages, and all of that. Like, I thought that was genius, because as you know, like, we're in our business and we've had like calls with our mentor, right? And he does numbers for us. And it's like, in a year from now, he's able to predict where we will be. And it's just like, if you just do the work, like, it's going to show up, and you can predict it based off of your numbers. Because really all it is at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. You know, like he talked about, he's like, I'm not special. He's like, but I did my best in a full day. I went all out in an entire day. And what did he do? He compressed time. Most people, what I've seen from working with people over the past couple of years, they'll talk to like 2 people in the whole month and expect to get somewhere. Like, you're not going to get anywhere if you're just talking to 2 people a month. However, if you have over 100 people that you've talked to in a month, just imagine what that'll do. So I thought that was really, really amazing. I love how you talked about excuses don't work. And it's funny because even for like us inside of our business, like lately, like it's just been like jet setting. And most people will be like, what are you guys doing? And to be honest, it's not that we're doing anything different. It's just that like our work is catching up. Like we've just been working so much that it's all coming like in alignment. It's all catching up to where we are. But it's just like we've been doing the work no matter what, every single day, day in and day out. So if you do the work and if you go based off of numbers and if you're talking to people, like there's no way that you can't win. And remember, like the more people you talk to, the luckier you're going to get. The more people that you present like your products or whatever it is that you may be doing, the luckier you're going to get. The more people that you present the opportunity to, the more lucky you're going to get. So know that the more that you do, the luckier you're going to get.
Love that, man. There was some great nuggets. Some of my biggest takeaways, you won't out-friend me. In the beginning, that was when Key said most people don't take notes on that. You won't out-friend me. That's really how we build. That's really how you build any business, whether it's network marketing or anything. Grant Cardone says people can't do business with you if they don't know you. And people will do business with you if they like you. If they don't like you, people aren't going to do business with you. So you got to be out-friending people, you know. That's work ethic. I really love professionals launch a business. Amateurs join. You said, you think Xbox was launched or was it just announced? Or was the PS4 launched? And it was like, it's so true. It's a launch. It's like there's momentum, there's energy, there's focus. There's like focused energy in one single part of time to really get as much, like almost like a space shuttle to launch it out. And that's what you've got to do with your business, your product, or your passion. I really like that. And then this is one of my biggest takeaways, you guys, because when he started drawing out his day, it clicked for me because I worked a 9 to 5. It was like a 9 to 5:30 because I got a 30-minute lunch break, which they don't pay you for. So it was like 9 to 5:30 I worked. But then I also had a part-time job where I had to drive across town, and I had a weekend job. So it was like basically all week I worked. But I actually had a time schedule like that because I saw patients. I'm a physical therapist. So it would be like 10 a.m. I see this person. 11 a.m. I see this person. 12 p.m. I see. It looked just like his paper, breaking down his day. And it clicked to me. You guys, think about if you want to, this is only for the people that want to be successful, have the nice things, travel the world, have freedom, buy what you want when you go into the restaurant and the store, have choices. This is for you guys. If you don't want that, this isn't for you, but this is for you guys that want it. If you want that, you're pretty clear, right, that you've got to make enough money to have the choices. Money gives you the choices, right? I walk in the restaurant, I don't look at what the price is on the restaurant side. I order from either side. Maybe I order an entree and an appetizer and a drink and a dessert. You ever had to I'm going to get one and we're going to split this appetizer and we might split the entree if it's big enough. You don't want to live that life, right? You want to get whatever. You've got to make enough, right? Now think about the make enough life. Any person that's doing the make enough life, you think their day doesn't look like that? The CEOs that have the winter home and the regular home, you think their day doesn't look like that? The people that have the nice clothes that you want to wear and the car that you want to wear and live in the side of town that you want to have, you think their day doesn't look like that? So why coming into network marketing wouldn't make the same sense that your day has to look like that if you want the same outcome as them? That's when it clicked. When he talked about his income in the beginning, the difference with network marketing that is really beautiful, but it also confuses a lot of people, is you don't have to wait for a job title to make it. You don't have to, your company, if you're an Herbalife distributor, which most of you guys are, you guys don't have to wait for Herbalife to come and say, hey, you are a TAB team member, Get Team, Millionaire Team, and President's Team. Now you can schedule your day like a leader. Now you can schedule your day like a six-figure income earner. You don't have to wait for Herbalife to come and say that because there doesn't have to be enough space at the top. You don't have to be the right background. You don't have to have the right college degree. The gentleman who founded the company, Mark Hughes, didn't even have a high school education. He dropped out in 9th grade. You think he was waiting for people to come and tell him, hey, man, you can start setting up your day and you can do it like this? No, he said, I'm going to do it now and then get the result. Imagine what your life and your business would look like if you actually set up your day like that. 10 a.m., 12 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Like, what would your business look like if you actually worked it like a business when he said, I worked it like shift work? Like shift work. Like you do when your job tells you you have to do it. Now, when I work, because I still work, I still see a few patients, and I've worked since I was 17 years old. I always had one or two jobs, pretty much. When they said I had to do it, I did it. I had to do it, right? I wanted the paycheck on Friday. When I had to see a person or I worked retail or I did telecommunications, like calling alumni at my school trying to get funds for the alumni. Like I did all these things. I had to do what they told me to do, like shift work. It's never not been like shift work. So for me in Herbalife, it made sense to bring that over. I need to schedule out my day. I need to make sure that I've got my day scheduled out like I need to know what I'm doing all day, like a CEO. So when he said that, it made so much sense to me because even if you don't have the day right now to fill it in, then you shouldn't be full-time Herbalife, but you do have some hours to do something right now. I've got 6 to 7, I can do this. I've got 7 to 8 in the morning, I can do this. I've got my lunch from 12 to 1, I can do this. You got the time right now to start mastering your certain amount of time to do shift work in your off time until it builds up to where you can have full-time. Because if you treat it like a business, he said, people focus on my numbers and they're like, my outcome. They're like, no, it was the numbers I did. It was the work I did. And it was a shift work every single day in launching his business. That was the biggest thing because this is what I'll leave you with. It can compress time. If you look at the Herbalife disclaimer, it says it takes anywhere between 1 year and 32 years to get to President's Team because that's the time that people have done it in Herbalife, which is the top 1% of the company. Make over $20,000 a month, six-figure income earners in Herbalife. 1 to 32 years. What do you think is the difference? It's compressing time. You're going to have to talk to the same amount of people. It's just, do you want to talk to 1 or 2 a day, or do you want to talk to 10 a day and get here then, or get here then? The thing that I'll tell you for me that makes sense is, why not get here now so I can live here as a President's Team member? You know, the 30 years, hopefully we're going to live anyway, but why not live 29 of them as a President's Team member? All the Herbalife President's Team vacations I want to go to. I want to go to honors. It's in Singapore next year. Why not? So that really made sense to me. Compress time by the work you do. So that was fire. All right, let's get some takeaways. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share your takeaway. Everybody's taking in massive nuggets. I'm looking for a thumbs up or a smile. Everybody's in real deep thought. Let me see. Who am I going to call on then? Let's get Julia. What was your biggest takeaway? Julia. Let's get it.
My biggest takeaway was, like, I have to make it important enough. Like, I'm still in grad school, so, like, I still have classes, and then I work as an athletic trainer. So, like, my days are pretty booked, and then I, like, go to the gym and then have to come home and do my homework. So some days I'm, like, more busier than others, but I just have to keep on telling myself, like, if I want to, like, this be full time by the time I'm 30, which is, like, 7 years away, then I have to, like, put the time in now, even though I sometimes, like, overwhelm myself and stress myself out. But
there you go.
It will be worth it.
There you go. Absolutely. It's almost like you're investing in the future right now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Grad school student working and building an Herbalife. Fired up.
About to hit high-paid athletic trainer.
I know you're about to be a balling athletic trainer. Let's get it. All right. Next, let's get. I'm looking to see somebody that's not at work that can talk. Let's go, Drew from Canada. Give us your nuggets. Fresh out of Leadership Development Weekend.
And I got my baby just eating.
There you go.
Put me on. Hold on 1 second. Let me just put her on the shoulder so I can burp her real quick. If she burps, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nah, it's all a part of the life, bro.
Forget that. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Man, I had a crazy weekend, man. It was awesome. It was my first LDW. It was wicked. It was really cool. And I shared a couple of cool things, but one of the biggest things for me was to continue to stay, like, outside my comfort zone. And I had two experiences happen where the one was they have, like, the break in the middle of the meeting where excuse me, they give you, like, your little lunch, and you go out and you get your shake. Everyone gets a shake, and everybody was, like, upstairs mingling. And one of the guys that was speaking, he was saying, Will Davis, he was saying that, like, he was just basically, like, giving people shit, for lack of a better term, to like, why haven't you guys talked to more people, this and that. And I really took it, and I was like, you know what, on this break, I'm just going to go downstairs to the lobby and I'm going to make a contact. So it was the first time that I really, like, wear the button, because, you know, I've told you guys, like, I'm pretty new and I'm still pretty, like, you know, nervous, or not nervous, but, like, shy to wear the button or whatever, uncomfortable about it. So I go downstairs and I go up to the front desk guy, and I'm like, hey, man, where's the bathroom? And he points to the button and he laughs. And I was just like, oh, what's up? Like, you're trying to lose some weight? And he was like, yeah, well, I am. And so I was like, listen, I know you're busy, but give me your contact information and I'll send you some stuff. And so he was like, you know, I'm a little bit busy, whatever. So it didn't work out. But then, like, 5 minutes later, this lady walks past me and she's wearing, like, a name tag, but it wasn't an Herbalife thing. So I just asked her, like, hey, what is your name tag for? Like, what are you doing? And she goes, oh, we're doing this leadership event. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's wicked. Like, so are we. She's like, oh, you're with that nutrition company. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, you know, like, I've been having trouble getting my protein in and stuff. And so same thing, just open up communication with her. And I was like, you know what, if you want, like, give me your information and I'll send you, or give me your contact information and I'll send you some stuff. So she gave me her phone number, and it was the first time I got a girl's phone number since I've been with Steph. The only time she was happy about it. But so anyway, just made another contact, which was cool. And then even on my way home from the LDW, I stopped to get gas, and I walked in to pay for my gas. And the guy there, the exact same thing. He pointed at the button as I was paying for gas, and I made another contact, and I talked to him yesterday, and I'm trying to get him started on the products and stuff. And so just one of my biggest takeaways was, like, step out of your comfort zone and really, like, don't be afraid to share it, because realistically, like, if I'm getting really great results and getting healthy, why would I not share that with other people, right? Like, why be shy to share that with other people? So
there you go. Fit dad down 30 pounds. Of course he's going to share, man. Thanks for sharing that. Really getting out of the comfort zone. That's really what the dude was talking about when he was like, I got on the call with 16 people. Like, you don't think he had to step out of his comfort zone to get those 16 people on the call, and then out of his comfort zone again to say, hey, bring 10 people in 2 hours? Like, it's all about getting outside of your comfort zone and really just speaking to people about what you're passionate about. Remember, he even said at the end, man, I'm not screaming at y'all. I'm just passionate about this. You got to speak because the passion is why you share it. You wouldn't share it if you're not passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, you're probably not in the right place. But if you are, then that's why you share it. I love that. All right, let's get one more takeaway. Trinice, are you at work? Or can you share? Here, let me see. Can you share? I unmuted you.
I'll share.
Go ahead.
Can
Give
you
us a
hear
nugget.
One of my nuggets is, although like I'm at work right now and I do work 9-hour days, but that doesn't mean that I still, and even like at work in the morning or when I take my lunch or when I take my afternoon break or even like when I get off of work, because I still have time in my day to work on my business regardless. Even though like I get off of work at 5 o'clock, I still can have a schedule from like 6 to 9:30 or 10 p.m. at night.
There you go. I love that. You guys, Trinice, is that how you say it, Trinice?
Yes.
Trinice at work, still learning, doing it on her lunch after work. I love, this is what Gary Vee says. If you don't know Gary Vee, you got to check out Gary Vee. Gary Vaynerchuk, he just released a new book, Crushing It Too. I just got it. He said, all right, you work from 9 to 5, but what about 10 to 2? I mean, what about 6 to 2? So what that means is, okay, you work during the day, but what about in the evening? What about in the morning? What about at lunch? Like, you guys, let me just leave you with this. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but if you don't want to be at the job you're at right now for the next 30 years, I'm not going to say 20 because there's not even pensions anymore, 30 years or more, then what are you doing to get out? Like, what's your plan? And if you don't think you need a plan, then what's going to change it for you? Because let me put a little bit of reality in your head. This is what our sponsor told us in our uplines. They said, if you don't like your boss, but you stay at your job, guess what? You're going to be your boss. And I never thought about work like that. And then it freaking made so much sense. That boss that you don't like, they were once you. They were new there. They had all these hopes and dreams. They wanted to hang out. They wanted to go travel the world. And then they got these golden handcuffs. You know what the golden handcuffs are? We'll match your 401k if you stay. We'll give you $1 raise a year. We'll give you 2 more days of vacation. And they got sucked into staying at that job, and they pay them just enough not to leave and just enough not to quit. And they used to be you. They were, oh man, this is just a stepping stone. I'm going to make it. And if you don't make plans, and this is where you got to use your plans, your lunchtime, your mornings, your nights, your weekends. And even this is what you do. Drink a lot of water so you can go to the bathroom, of course, wash your hands, and be hitting up some clients, responding to some team members, and then jump out. Time management, right? That's how you got to do it. Just like you need to eat the protein bar and your protein snack at work too sometimes, you got to be also working on your business in the right amounts of time to get your freedom in the nooks and crannies of your day. Trust me, there's time. You just got to make it. You can't find it. You got to make it. So let's get it, you guys, fired up, man. Have an amazing week. Triple M on fire. I'm going to unmute everybody. Where's the energy at? Get us some energy. Let's go. Let's go. Shift work. Peace out.
Peace. Let's get this.